It's time for us to round up the biggest Pinocchios of the year. President Biden's false claims and conspiracy theories about president are again at the top of list. Former president and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump appeared on this list for the 9th consecutive year. As always with Trump, it is difficult to isolate a specific lie. We focused on the fabricated stories he told about his dealings with Iran and his claims about tariffs on imports from China by Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis, his main rival in the GOP primaries. This list is in no particular order. To read full fact-check, the link embedded in excerpt. Summaries contain links to general categories. The fact-checker has covered some of the most Pinocchio-worthy claims of 2023. Here are 3 claims you need to know. Biden's fairytale stories. President Biden, like many politicians, loves to tell stories. Stories that form an important part of personality, in which he tries to connect his own life with the lives of audience. But Biden's tendency throughout his career to exaggerate or embellish stories about his life has raised questions about its veracity. That hasn't changed in his 3rd year as president. He repeatedly exaggerated the extent of the fire that occurred at his home in 2004. He often told an encouraging but implausible story about an Amtrak conductor who congratulated him for traveling more on Amtrak than on Air Force planes as vice president. Several times while discussing gay issues, he told another implausible story about remarks his father allegedly made after the young Biden saw 2 well-dressed men kissing each other in downtown Wilmington in the early 1960s. Hyperbolic Chinese claims in the battle between Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley to be leading alternative to Trump in the Republican presidential primary race. 2 candidates and their allies have made absurd claims about each other. Trump also took action with chauvinist claims. A pro-Haley group falsely claimed that as a member of Congress, DeSantis voted to accelerate Obama's China trade deals. A pro-DeSantis group absurdly claimed that Haley, as governor, made a serious national security mistake when she welcomed a Chinese fiberglass factory into her state. Meanwhile, with DeSantis still appearing to be Trump's main threat, the former president has created an imaginary dispute over tariffs on imports from China. DeSanctis sided with the communists in China. "I stood with America's farmers," Trump said at a campaign rally. In reality, DeSantis did not oppose Trump's tariffs on China or aid to farmers and took no steps to block either program. Trump. November 10. Donald Trump could easily fill this list on his own, as he often did during his presidency. However, this claim stood out among many. According to Trump's narrative, he retaliated against Iran, and Iran was then so punished that officials called him and told him that the next time Iran attacked,